Here we go. We're live.
Hey, good evening, good morning.
Evening. Hi, GP. Long time no see.
Very long time. I think it's maybe been a year plus, right? Yeah. I even don't understand the interface of Webinar Jam anymore. And I just really love the upgrades that you've done there. I mean, I can see the professional camera. I'm still here on my little dinky toy HD. And your lighting setup, oh, brilliant. And tell us about the new haircut, because I saw on Facebook you were mentioning people said your photo was a little too creepy.
Yeah, my last photo was a bit too creepy, and I got some suggestions to change it, and I've recently took a photo. As you can see, my white hair this is Brizy white hair, so it's, yeah.
Mine is just life. That's why I'm cutting it so short.
Actually, I need to thank you, man, because you leaving for some time pushed me to jump in the deep end. So I need to figure it out. Made this nice YouTube background and figuring out the Webinar Jam software, because I remember you were handling everything back then. But I'm grown up now in the webinar space, so hopefully I'll.
So your training wheels are off. That's good.
Yeah, exactly.
From my side, good to see all of you guys here. And Jay, thank you also very much for contacting me, seeing my mug again there on the slide. And it's great to see you guys here. It's been a while. It was a crazy year. It still is. And it's great to be here. So Dimi, thank you for inviting me back. Yeah.
Of course. We'll have you every time you'll have time to be on. Eric, Ben from Malaysia, Eric from Norway. Hi guys, welcome. Suzanne, great to have you back, GP. Great to have you back, GP. Ken, we have US here, Sanjay, Arvin. So the whole world is here. Let's give it a couple of minutes more, maybe 2-3 minutes, so people can jump in. Duncan, Jay, hi Jay. Our friend Jay is not missing any webinar, so thanks for being here and supporting us, Jay. Diana from Netherlands. Philippe from Paris, France. Sean from Ireland. Dev, Bud, GP. Hi, GP. Welcome again.
Suzanne, everyone there. Thank you very much, Stephanie, Suzanne. Great to see you guys as well. Very good.
So shall we get this party started?
Yeah, I'm just too jealous over your super quality streaming with that camera you have there.
Yeah, definitely. My Fuji camera, it's doing all the stuff.
I'll get my Sony. You've got a Fuji there, you tell me, so I'll get my Sony next time so that we can have this beautiful. I almost thought it was like a thumbnail when I first saw you, but then the thumbnail started moving, so I realized, no, that's the real deal. Really great. Let's see who else have joined here. Yin from Malaysia, Mohammed, good evening. From us, Adam, hello. Siva Kamwar, it's late in India. What time is it? No, it's not that late. It's almost midnight. Good evening. Karsten, hello over there in Denmark. And then we have Dante from Chicago, USA. Joss, good evening. And then from Palestine, Jericho, Mohammed. It's great seeing you guys. I think one of the things in the last year with the world as we're moving, the feeling of that we're not that big world anymore. And I mean, now recently we're talking in the news every day almost about UFOs going to Mars. So our perspective of what is big has really changed. Good. So Glory.
So you've mentioned my camera. Now it's lost for some whatever reason. You shouldn't have
on that.
Yeah,
right?
You shouldn't have done that. Give me 1 sec to put it together again.
No problem. Glory, good evening from Iowa. Kevin, NC, North Carolina, right? I think that's right. And Richard, great. Guys, Sumsusaman, I hope I'm saying that correctly. That's all the way Bangladesh. So you guys are midnight now at this moment. And then Marie Bitry from Montpellier in France. And Nadim, goeienaand, all the way from Cape Town. Hope you are doing well down there. You're just 45 minutes from where I'm sitting over here in Stellenbosch. And of course, yes, my time here is just after 8 p.m. down here in South Africa and Dimi up there in Romania. And we're just trying to figure out quickly. But I see all the different thumbnails Dimi is throwing us. They're not bad at all.
Yeah.
And
we'll have to. My camera will have to for now. Just you'll see my my mug for now. I'll try to figure it out in the meantime. But if not, this is not the main attraction for tonight. Let me just start this this nice presentation we have here for you. So tonight we'll talk about Brizy Web Stories. We recently launched this, and we'll tell you how to build a great story with Brizy Web Story, with this new feature with put in Brizy Cloud for now, and it will come in the next update for Brizy WordPress. Just a short reminder before we start. We are at our last 52 licenses for Brizy Pro lifetime licenses for WordPress that comes with cloud included for 2 years. So maybe this is the time to jump on, because after this we'll increase the pricing and you'll get a nice deal now. Session goals. For tonight, we want to show you what are Brizy Stories, who are they for, and put in some best uses and best cases scenario for you to think about. We'll show you how to create one in Brizy, and also we'll showcase some pro stories templates that will come in the next design updates for web stories. The gameplay for tonight, this session will be around 60 minutes, maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less. The showcase, it will be pre-recorded. GP did a really awesome job to help us with this recording. So please put your questions in the chat. We'll answer them in the Q&A session. You'll see there in the chat that there is a sort of a bubble that if you click it, will mark it as a question. So it will be easier for us to see it. So please do that. At the end, of course, the customary surprise we have for you. And please, no tech support in this webinar. We'd love to help you, but we're not the right persons for the job. So for support, go on our website on supportbrizy.io. GP, please do the introductions.
Right, so I think we should update this as well. I see, did I put that radio in the past? Yeah, and I often have people asking me about this. So quick background on me. I actually do a lot of work that is not connected to website making. So when I'm busy, I'm actually busy with that. Website making started a few decades ago as an add-on that I was actually delivering for marketing and promotional services. And it just became an intense interest of me, especially WordPress. And one of the reasons was that I was working for a client, and they were paying a guy a crazy amount of money for a website he was making for the project. And as I was sitting there, I thought, but wait a minute, I can do this. This WordPress thing I can figure out. And I think many of us started from that side if we don't come from a coding and developers background. And that's where it started from, and it just became an intense interest. And because of a lot of the work that I do involves training other peoples in maintaining their websites, that's kind of where all these tutorials came from. I was working in a project in Laos, and this was now already 4 or 5 years ago. And we had to communicate long distance. I started making a little bit of these videos, and it just seemed to work. And then I posted it online for them to find it, and it just took off from there. And I think the really big thing happened with Brizy when Brizy came out 3 years ago. I just got onto this page builder, and I thought, wow, this thing is just so easy to work with. And that's how I got involved with Brizy. So loving it. I'm an early riser. You see there, 3:30 in the morning, and you can catch me around here. Hopefully my time will become a little bit more flexible, and I'll have more time in the future. And that's me. Over to Dimi, who's still having problems with his camera.
So this is me, Dimi. Some of you guys might know me. I'm the co-founder here at Brizy. I'm, as you know, a family man. I have 2 kids and 1 wife. I almost said 2 wives and 1 kid, but no, I have 1 wife and 2 kids. And besides working on this amazing product we are developing together, I love connecting with the Brizy community and with you guys. Hopefully, we'll do this often, more often than this. And as in a stark contrast with the GP, my day usually ends at 3 p.m. in the morning. So he starts at 3 p.m. I end at 3 p.m. This is about me. So let's move on to the meat and potatoes of this webinar. Brizy Web Stories. This is a pre-recorded showcase. I'll share the video in just a second. I'll kindly ask you guys to let us know if you encounter any issues with the video. If for some reason the audio or video is freezing, just hit a refresh in the browser or come back and it will sort itself out. Let me just share the video.
And of course, throw your questions down in the comments and we will reply to you as the video is playing.
Brizy Stories for Cloud. Now, if you have no idea what Brizy and Stories are all about, there is a link in the description below to the blog entry. So click on that link, go read up about it, or alternatively, just watch this video and you'll have a very good idea what stories are all about. In this video, I'm going to tell you what you can use stories for, how to create stories, and also showcase some of the stories that you can find in Brizy Cloud. Before we look at what stories are, I quickly just want to give you an idea of what a story is, and that will give you a very good visual idea of what you can expect. Stories essentially are geared towards mobile devices, but don't worry, it will work on your desktop as well. When you send a link or you have a story on a website, this is what your visitor will see. Something that fits perfectly on the phone. And if they swipe or click to the side, the story will move. It will move to a new pane, well, a new page with a new story. And this way you create a visual story all the way from left to right. I mentioned to you that this can also be done on a desktop. And how is that done? To ensure it works properly on a website, the interface changes a little bit, still giving you the story feeling, but with a new interface. And here you have a few options. You have a navigation bar here at the bottom from where you can click on the different stories, or rather the different parts of the story, and cycle through it. When you get to the end, you will see there's a reset here that takes you back to the front of the story. Or you can just click on the next story, and you can even cycle back and forth between the different parts of the story. And then you have the navigation arrows here on the right and on the left. Great, it's geared towards your mobile device, but it's perfect on any tablet or any desktop screen. Now, let's talk about what stories are. Stories, a great way to create visual narratives, product showcases, mobile landing pages, onboarding presentations, offers, promotions, guides, or anything that works great in steps. Brizy Stories are mobile visual narratives that follow a different content consumption experience. This visual format lets you explore content by sliding from one piece of content to the next, primarily on smartphones. So, who are stories ideal for? Marketers, to present offers and promotions. You can engagingly present a promo that will grab potential customers' attention, generate more leads, and increase conversion. Mobile landing pages. Well, web stories are perfect for landing pages because they have the perfect natural funnel interaction from slide to slide. That lets you present and structure the information very deliberately, thus increasing leads and ultimately conversion. Content creators, ideal for them. Posts are short web stories. You can deliver the news or an excerpt in a quick, easy-to-digest web story. Content previews. Use web stories to capture interest for your larger size content or blog post. Bring your users over via a call to action button once they're interested to read the whole story. How-to guides. Web stories are great for how-to guides where you can present each step of the process in a separate slide in the story. And then lists or tops, the top 5 or top 10. Anything that works great in lists or tops will be great and fit for web stories. How about shop owners? Absolutely. Product previews and showcases. You can influence buying decisions with web stories by creating interactive, virtual, and clickable product showcases. And also for client follow-up. Use the contact form to ask for testimonials or do follow-ups with your clients in a creative way via a nice web story. Now you have a good idea who stories are for, the market for stories, and we have a very good idea of how it works on a mobile device and also on a desktop. Let's find out where we can get it and then also build out one so you have an idea of where and how. Now, for this, you will need Brizy Cloud. And don't worry, if you've never worked with Brizy Cloud, there is a free option that includes stories. Simply go to brizy.cloud and then here in the top right-hand corner, click on Account Login. If you don't have an account, it will take you to the setup page. Like in my case, I already have one. It will take you into the Brizy Cloud dashboard. Now, on my dashboard, I already have a few projects. And because I have a pro account here in front of me, I also have different accounts that I can work with. At the top where the projects appear, you will see that we've got three categories: websites, and then pop-ups, which are external pop-ups, and now also stories. Go to all projects, and here is where we will create the standalone story. A standalone story will give you a URL for just that story, and it can be created here. Then, if you have Brizy Cloud Pro, you will also have the ability to create the story within the builder. Let's look at these two options very quickly. To create a new story, click here on Create New Project, and then from our selection, go to Story. This will create a new story at the bottom of your project list, and it will give it a number based on how many stories you already have. I will call this New Story. Now you can go into the builder and edit it from here. For now, let's go back, and then we'll talk about how to create it inside an existing project within a website, and then talk a little bit about the builder. To exit, go to the bottom left, go to Dashboard, and we are back at our dashboard. Let's create a new project for a website. And we call this Brizy Cloud Stories. Go into the builder. This takes us directly into the page builder. To go into the story builder, we will access our assets up here on the sidebar on the left, in the top left, where you see CMS for Content Management System. Click on this hamburger menu, and the assets will load up. Pages, blog, and over here, stories. Now you know where to create stories as a standalone within the dashboard, and you also know where to find stories within the website builder. Remember that within the website is a Brizy Cloud Pro feature. Let's take a look at how the Stories Builder works. Click here on Stories, and at the bottom, we will add our first new story. Add new story, give it a name, new story. You can give it a little bit description, and notice the permalink down here. This is very important because this actually means that the story is nothing different than any other page within your site. And where you want to link it, you will be using this permalink as well as your URL. You also have room over here for SEO. Just remember to save it first, and then you can bring in all your needed information within the SEO section. Click back on the arrow. To edit the story, go to Actions and click on Edit. This takes us into the Story Builder. The great thing about Brizy is that you're always going to feel right at home, whether you're working within the Page Builder, the Pop-up Builder, or in this case, the Story Builder. Each one is very familiar, yet at the same time, they are very distinct to the product they are delivering. And the Story Builder is going to surprise you in a number of ways. Probably, you will first understand that this is the canvas. And then, as usual with blocks and pop-ups, your settings for the canvas, which is this page, appears here in the top right. You will find it over here. If you cannot see the different pages, just scroll down and you will see down here. This is where we will add or remove pages to our story. On the left, we have elements, and you will see a reduced number of elements as they are more driven towards conversion and what will work good on the stories pages. and then, of course, styling as well. Building is very easy, yet easier than what you will be used to in Pop-Up Builder and the Page Builder. To give you an idea, I'll just bring in a button, I'll drag it onto the story page and drop it. Now when you click and hold, you see that you can drag the button freely around the page and place it anywhere you want it to be. I can bring in a few more elements just to show you. And you can even just click and they will drop onto the page. And then from there, you can just grab them and move them around. Let's delete this. Included in stories are also pre-made templates. You're going to find some for the free and then a lot more for pro. Scroll down, and to bring in a new template, click on a new page, and this will give you the template library. Here you see the 7 ones that are currently available, and these are also available for stories in Brizy Cloud free. To bring in a new one, you can simply click on it, like this bistro menu, and then click on Import this story. Remember, before importing it, click here on Replace Global Styling, and then import this story. If this is not what you want to work with, click back to Stories, and you can see our categories over here gives you a list of different industries for which stories have been created. If we go to something like services, we have this handyman, events, business. So if I'm happy with Hi, I'm Jane, click here on Replace Global Styling and import the story. From here, you bring in every page that you need for this story. So you can pick and choose and then build out the story to your liking. If you feel you want to rearrange the order of the story, that's also possible. Simply grab the page at the bottom and drag it to a new location where you want it to appear. Of course, it needs to make sense. To delete any of these pages, go to any page, click on it, and you will see the trash can appears here at the top, and you can delete it. You also notice that we have a duplicate button up here. In case you've created a design and you think it's good enough to be used again and you want to continue maybe with the same background, you can simply click on duplicate, go to the new one, and just change out the content. Let me show you how we can build out a story similar to this one that we have in the demo. I'll leave it here as a reference for us. Create a new page, and then go to the settings in the top right-hand corner, bring in an image for my slide. And if it comes in with the overlay, which it most likely will, just go to the overlay next to the background, grab the opacity slider and drag it down all the way to 0. To bring in our first text element, you can click here in the middle and it will open the elements drawer. And you don't need to drag and drop. You can simply click on the text and it will drop the element onto the page. Select all the text and type in, Hi, I'm Jane. And let's make a few changes. Change the color first. I've got my color code over here and I'll paste the code for that orange. Then T for typography. We're going to put this on Palanquin. Dark. Size 67. We'll leave it at normal. Line height we can reduce. And letter spacing, we're going to bring them a little bit closer to each other so it's easier to read. To position it on the page, click and drag it somewhere here. And look at this handle here on the right. Drag the handle in to apply a line break. In this instance, I will apply a line break to get us to the second line. Let's drag it up a little bit more. Next, bring in a line, go to Add Elements, and the line element appears over here. Click on it, drag it up, I'll put it to the side. If you click on it, you will see the handles appear. Let's change the color, paste the color code, and the thickness of the line is set over here. I will change that to 5. And that was very easy. Let's go for the next one. Add a new one, create your own. Let's go to the settings to bring in our background. For slide 2, Again, let's reduce our opacity for the overlay. Bring in a text element here. Click on the text, select all, and type in, I'm a freelance graphic designer. Change the color. And let's change our typography as well. Into Pelican Dark. I'll set the size to 41 and the line height at 1.3 works good for us. Let's reduce some of the space. Let's get control over it. Click on it until you see the handle here on the right and drag it in a little bit. And we position it by clicking on it and dragging it. There we go. Let's build out one more so you can get an idea of how this builder exactly works. Go to the bottom, add a new page, create your own, and let's bring in our background first. Reduce the opacity and bring in our heading text first. Click on that. I can help you with. Let's style it out color. And change our text, Pelican Dark. I'll put it also on 41 and reduce the letter spacing. Now this one I'm going to apply a little effect here or a little trick. I can help you. And I'll have a return or an enter. Then I will reduce the size here of my box. And in the second line, I will apply alignment to the right. Next, icon. Drop the icon. You may wonder where the icon controls are, like size. This is where stories work a little bit different. To size the icon, you're going to click on it and you will resize it over here by dragging on the handles. Let's place the icon somewhere and then change it out. Look for a crown and change the color. Let's put it on the black. Let's make it a little bit smaller. Bring in text. And I'll call this branding. Change the text also to black. I'll put it on Pelican. Let's go for 32. And then we just position it next to it. Make it a little bit smaller. Now that we've created this, we simply need to duplicate these guys and use them for the next one. Here we go. Click on the icon, duplicate. We drag it a little bit down and we change out the icon. Bring in this one. Do the same for our text. And change out. And that was very quick. Let's now save our work. I'll just go and delete that first page that I had used as an example. Click on it and delete it. And we've got our 3 pages here. Currently, it's in draft mode. So if I save it as a draft, it will remain a draft. It won't be published. You won't be able to access it. But what we can do now is click here and then click on Publish Page. And that's it. I can preview it on the front, which will give me the desktop view. And you can see my page works very nicely. I'll probably go back and do a few tweaks here and there, but the idea is to really let your creativity flow when you are building out your stories. And to test it, how it will look on a mobile device, here's the one I created. Right. And viewing it on a mobile device, it will also help you to understand maybe where you can make a few changes in terms of structuring it correctly on your page. But out of the box, it's going to do a great job for you and really excite you about what you can be creating in stories. Now you've seen the free ones, you've learned what stories are, and you can brainstorm a little bit and try to understand what more you can do with stories. There's a lot of application. I've also mentioned to you that there are two ways you can create stories within Brizy Cloud. The standalone one that comes also in Brizy Cloud free, and then this one that you can create right within a website project. And then you can link it to buttons. You can use it as a page, so you can add it as a menu link right within your header. All of that can be done just like you would do with a normal page or with pop-ups. Before we jump into the showcase of a few more stories out there in the wild, which we will show you in desktop view, we would like to hear what you are doing with it, and also areas that you think we can add more to stories that will make it really a great tool to use for your marketing, your conversion, showcasing, and bringing your customers into the fold.
My microphone is not on. Luckily, I figured that one out. Great. So quick introduction for all of you into Brizy Cloud Stories. And if Dimi disappears for a few moments because of his camera, he's going to try and refresh it. We wanted to refresh it during the video, but we weren't sure if it will disconnect the video. Yes, Dimi has left and Dimi is back. Let's see if he's back in all of his...
There
back. You are.
I'm back, baby. Yeah, and not truth be told, is the web webinar's fault because he didn't know to refresh my feed. So We'll have
Blame
to
someone else.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. This is my first go-to. Yeah.
Okay, Dimi, let's do it like this. I'm going to ask you the questions here, and then you give us the insights to the answers. I want to try the first one because I think I know the answer. The first question is this only for Brizy Cloud or will it be in WordPress too? At the moment, it's only Brizy Cloud, but it will come to WordPress. And I'm not so sure if we should put a time on that because I think the implementation on WordPress will be probably a bit different than it is on cloud currently.
A bit differently, but it will come in the next update. We have, I'm sure you know, GP, and we have currently the beta testing for Brizy WordPress, and we have a bunch of optimizations there and a bunch of things that we've touched upon. And Brizy Web Stories will come in WordPress in the next big update. So
good. So more testing to be done. So the last part that you guys saw there is a small sample of Pro stories that will be coming to Brizy Cloud Pro. So the current ones that you can play with are free showcases, the 7 that we have out there. This is for everyone out there. And if you're using Brizy Cloud free, you can use that. But the ones we showed you at the end, Brizy, Dimi, when will the Pro guys be coming out? And will you tell us how many of them will be coming out?
Yes, we have 50. So there are 50 web stories that are already done. GP very nicely presented. I think you showed like 5 or 6 or something like this.
Yeah.
So we have 40 something more and they are very colorful and they're oriented on different niches, product presentations, app onboardings, and all the landing pages and Christmas promos, and we've covered a wide range of web stories. So you'll be able to only modify the content there a bit and use it for yourself. 50, and they will come. I think Sergio told me that we'll put them together this week, and we'll see about the update. It will be just around the corner, so we're talking about maybe 2-3 weeks, something like this.
So 50, that's quite a lot. And I mean, you shared, I think, just over 10 with me. I showcased around 7. So that's huge. That's a huge amount to go through. And just the ones that I've worked with, great designs. And I think there's really, like you mentioned, Christmas, all the holidays, there's something for almost every occasion out there. So really great Pro feature to look forward to.
Yeah, it's important in this kind of, in website building in general. You saw that, and you guys know that in Brizy we have, we take great pride in our design, and we recently actually added 42 layout packs in Brizy Free and Pro and landing pages. And it's important for stories as well to have a big plethora of options to get to be able to start from something and play from there. Of course, you have, as GP showed, you have the option to start from scratch and let your imagination guide you. But if that's a little bit intimidating, you can choose from our pre-made stories and go from there.
Right. So, Jay, I always have to give Jay a gold star for asking the question about the one thing I've never thought of. And then Lisa was also on that one. Stories in landscape mode. So let's quickly talk about that because, you know, personally, I only use my phone in landscape mode when I'm watching Netflix. I hardly ever use my phone in landscape mode. But I mean, if you have a bigger device, landscape is very convenient. And after Jay asked that, I quickly actually went to check because I haven't checked it myself. So definitely in landscape mode, it's not going to work well. It is made for portrait. It's made for that story look, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's made for portrait mode, and in landscape, if you have a bigger device, like for example a tablet, we display the desktop, basically that slider in the desktop view. We display it on portrait as well. I've noticed that someone put in the chat that we need to look a bit in the portrait side on mobile, but the main idea is to be used as in portrait view, not in landscape, especially on mobile, because you're when you're browsing I don't know, Facebook or whatever. When you're reading news and when you're browsing the net, I rarely do it in landscape on my phone, right? It's
right. And talking of landscape, and then we talk about the canvas, what is the resolution for this setting? Because it's fixed. There's a few questions. Can I change it? No, there's no changing. It's fixed. What did you guys decide on here?
So the resolution you can't change is fixed. We've studied over 40 phones, old and new, and flagships and older phones, and the resolution is a resolution, but is dynamic. If you'll and we chose the sweet spot that covers maybe 90% of the phones out there, especially the newer ones, and the resolution is dynamic, is not fixed. We're working in ratios, right? So if you'll test the story on a smaller device, you'll see that the backgrounds and the text reposition and rearrange themselves to fit that device. Of course, don't test it on a Nokia from I don't know 20 years ago, because
10 years ago
or maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But we've tested with I think over 30 or 40, starting with the flagships from this year, from last year, and so on and so forth. And we've made a graph and saw the resolutions and the ratios between the width and the height, because that is more important than the actual resolution. I can write a paper on all this, because we've studied it a lot. I think that you will not find any issues. Of course, when you are designing, you need to take a bit of care to arrange things and test it on mobiles and see how they look. But you will not have any problems with what you build out of the box, and you have the tools there to reposition, realign, and things like that. So.
Right. So OS or OS, I'm not sure if it's OS or OS, so I'll just say OS. A few questions, and I think the first one, can stories be used as a block on a website? No, it's not a slider. It's not for that. You can go carousel or you can go block slider. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to insert it into a page. It's going to be a page, or you can add it as a link to a page, but it's not going to operate as a block. And I know Dante asked, how does it work?
Not right now, at least, but I've noted the idea, and we'll discuss it with the guys. It's amazing how we think of a lot of things here in the office, but our fans and community always surprise us with some questions that we never thought about. So I've put it I've noted it down, and I'll discuss it with the guys. Probably there should be a way. We've tackled more difficult tasks in Brizy, so we'll see.
I would say, for me, looking at it, one of the things I was thinking of while working on it, can it behave like a pop-up, so that when I click on it, it can open on the page. It doesn't have to be a block, but it can open on the page, and people will be able to view it as a slideshow and then close it. So that comes back again to something to a block. So kind of something I was also thinking of while working on it. Dante asks, how does it work with video? Can you embed video MP4 and move files, or from YouTube? There's an element.
Yeah, for sure. We have you'll be able to watch this again on our reply on our YouTube video, and actually you can go test it right now in Brizy Cloud. But we have a video element, so basically you'll drag that on the page. GP showcased only a couple of elements, the images name and the text, but we have a video element. You'll drag that on the page, and you can embed videos from YouTube and Vimeo, and also you can use the block background to put a video there in the background, so you'll be able to create those nice video enriched stories.
Right. Mars asking, can we make it at this moment to automatically slide to the next slide? Not at this moment.
Not at this moment, but this is a an easy fix, to put it like this. We'll need to just enable that option inside the builder to let you control the time frame between the slides and the auto slide and things like that, because the script and the code we are using can do that. So I'll just note this down.
So Derek is asking, can we take this and use it in social media like TikTok and Facebook? And I think if you are thinking, can you display it directly on those platforms as it is? I think the answer is no, but can you post a URL to it? The answer is yes, right?
Here you go. The great GP answered the question. Yeah.
When I know the answer, I volunteer completely.
Yeah,
right?
It's perfect. It's perfect. We usually in those at least to my knowledge, because I don't want to. I need to study this a bit more. You'll need to create those stories that are posted there on Facebook and Instagram to be created with their tools. So you can post this as a link to your story on Facebook, of course, because it's a link to like on any page on your website. But natively, these stories will not be displayed in that carousel of web stories in Facebook.
I'm thinking creating it in the back. I did not see an SEO part for a social share within the stories, which we do have for page. No, we have it for the site, not for pages.
We have it for the site, and we have SEO options for the story itself, because it's a page. So we have title, descriptions, and yeah.
Right. So another good suggestion from Jay, write it down, Dimi, is that maybe when we put the elements on the page, we can use something like Control up down with an arrow key to nudge them up and down to a specific spot on the page. I would like that. I know we are the control freaks, so if possible, I'm not always sure how easy that is to implement these things, but some of us love our hotkeys.
Yeah, sure. I'm a sort of a control freak myself, so I like that fine tuning and pixel adjusting. I can't tell you right now because this involves a more technical part, and I need to talk with my colleagues first, because I don't want to put something out there that might not be possible. But I've noted it down, and we'll touch on this, Jay, and
great.
We'll
James says, can you generate a code like pop-ups to embed in websites? You are talking about the external pop-ups and then how you add it to the header or footer within WordPress or any other site for that matter as a code snippet. I didn't see that. No. The answer would be no. But is it impossible? The answer is no. It's possible if maybe in the future.
Yep.
All right.
I agree. Let me note this down as well.
Right. Can you show how to embed in the cloud pages, Carolyn? Cloud pages. You're going to embed it, and that's why in the video I show you the permalink. You're going to use that as your slug. So as any other page, you would create a header, and you would just put them in there. You will do exactly the same. We'll do some videos on that to make it very clear how you can add this to your different pages. Remember, for all intents and purposes, you should treat it as a page. It's another page on your site. It's a cross a little bit between a pop-up and a page, but it's actually just a page. So there's no real embedding needed. It's just a slug, your permalink that you're going to use. You can add it as a link. You can create jump links, and you can add it in your menu as well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, Adam asked something around this related to a subdomain. Adam, of course, you can create it. GP show that Brizy Web Stories can be created in two ways in Brizy Cloud as a standalone project, like a website. So, for example, you'll be able to link a standalone story with a domain or subdomain or what have you. And also you can create it inside the project, inside your Brizy Cloud project, your website, as a page. So basically, you'll be able to do exactly what you've asked. Either put it on a page with a custom slug, a custom link, or link it on a subdomain.
Right. Kelter asked about how about some sort of guides. Now, I think after listening to what Dimi was saying, that actually on different devices it will scale proportionally. I don't think guides will really be useful in this in this sense. Yeah.
No.
Arvin suggests functions send to back and send to front for element manipulation. Is there a Z index?
Yes, there is.
There's a Z index.
Yeah, there is a Z. Yeah, normal. There is a Z index that lets you control the stacking order, basically, like you do in any project. But that is a good suggestion. We'll see how. I'm guessing he suggests something to like you see in Sketch or in other design editing software, where you can just push an element to the back or bring it to the front very easily. So you don't have to mess with the Z index. Put it on a lower number or on a bigger number, and you need to match it there. This is a good idea. I'll note it down and talk it with the guys, but you have control right now via Z index option. And in the future, we'll see about that, those bring to front or send to back options.
Right. And just want to call out for Claudio, who's a few times said, great job. Love this. Good. You had a very good idea. Thank you very much, guys. Like I said, for me, stories is kind of a personal thing, because I remember Dimi very excitedly, November, October 2019, before a webinar, he told me, hey, I want to show you something. And he showed me then, like, wow. And then that night, like, okay, we've got a working model. Let's show everyone. And hey, guys, it will be ready in a few weeks. So
the actual prototype was made in 3 days or something like this, based on the builder. But as you know, the 90% is done in 3 weeks, and the rest of 5-10% to bring it home, it takes some time. But web stories were done some time ago, but we were juggling with a lot, and sometimes the functionalities that you want to bring in depend on other things from the builder. For example, the build we needed to wait for some migrations for options, and it's more complex than it looks. But we've eventually managed to bring it in. So I'm glad we've.
And I would say it's a lot to do with all of you out there. The enthusiasm, the excitement behind it really put a lot of pressure. But as you all know, a lot of new parts for Brizy Cloud and WordPress had come on in the last few years, and things like WooCommerce and blogging. These things need to happen first. Every CMS needs that first before you bring in something like stories. So we are very happy that we are here. And as I said, we will be looking forward to your ideas, what you have there, how you're going to use it for. I saw Felix saying there, I will use web stories to promote next home game for my football club with countdown, player presentation, venue. Looking forward. Please share that. It's great to see that. And I also want to say one thing. I often think there is a tendency with us as people who are very excited about websites. When we hear about a new feature, tonight we lie in bed and we start imagining what we're going to do with it. And then when we get to the builder, we're often unhappy because it's not what our expectations had in mind. And the great thing about Brizy Cloud is that you can work with this stories completely for free and test it and see what it can do. Do that and then think, what can I use this for? Because you're not going to always use it, and don't overuse it also as well. You know, this is something that's an extremely powerful tool, I can think, but don't use it in a context that it doesn't work. And the best way to understand that is to go in, work with it, test it, and you will get those ideas like, it's going to work here, it's not going to work there. So I think it's the community who brought it here. It's been a while, but it's been a good wait, and it's great to see that it's working. So good job to the developer team.
Good job to us. Yeah. It's a great tool. We love it. We didn't reinvent the wheel here. It's well known that this kind of products exist out there. in terms of building web stories, but it was a natural shift to bring the Brizy Builder and the ease of use to this kind of a product. And it's a great tool to have in your toolbox right there in Brizy included. So basically, if you want to use it for free, you can do it right now. It's not a problem. If you have Pro, you'll be able to use all those nice pre-made stories. So it's another tool in your toolbox, directly included there in Brizy, and we couldn't be any prouder that we've managed to bring this home and put it in your hands. And I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. I'm sure we'll be amazed. So yeah, this is mainly it. Do we have more questions here?
I would say the only more question, and then we can wrap it up. Jay just said, how would it work on tablet orientation Vice? Is it Vice or device?
Probably device. It will work exactly like you see it on the desktop view. So basically, it will be that slider from the desktop view.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me just share our slides here again.
And just a reminder, as we said, I just saw somebody joined. If you just joined, you're about to say goodnight to us, but you'll be able to catch this video on YouTube by tomorrow. It is recorded, and of course, more will come out. And as the ideas that we discussed today maybe are implemented in the future, updates will roll out as well.
Yeah, everything is, let me just 1 sec to...
I'm so scared once you share the screen, your video is going to disappear again.
No, I hope not. I hope not this time around. Yep. So we'll load this presentation, the recording. We'll load it on our YouTube channel. I think tomorrow, if I'm not, because it takes a couple of hours to process, right? Right, GP. So it.
Yeah. Yeah, we often get this that people tell us, please switch on the subtitles function. And actually, that is a function within YouTube. And especially when you upload a big video, YouTube takes some time to generate subtitles. And that's why even when we upload it, sometimes we have to let it hang there in YouTube for a few hours, half a day, to ensure that you guys can get the subtitles. We often see people telling us, please switch it on. It's up to you to switch it on. It's actually not up to us. It's just a matter of that YouTube sometimes take like half a day to even a day, depending on the length of the video, to generate those subtitles.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I have... so this was our Q&A session. Let's move on. Before we go, as always, we have, again, the reminder for the lifetime deals. If you want one, it's not mandatory, but I'll get one considering what you get in the great value you get in this lifetime deal. And the surprise at the end, as usual, but this is a bigger surprise now because, as you know, we have a summer sale on our website. I think the last 3 days are counting down right now. For 30% discount, and we've put another 10% on top of that for you guys.
Sweet.
Yeah, we'll send this discount will apply to personal or studio plans, and it will expire in a couple of days. We'll send you an email with the discount code, I think tomorrow. And if some of you had already own Brizy Pro, feel free to pass that code around and bring more users and fans into our happy, merry family. This was it from us tonight. I guess we'll see you guys next time, right? GP, last words?
Yes, thank you very much. It was great. Like I said, it's nice to see the product come to fruition. It's also great knowing that with our next update, what is it? What's at the beta at the moment? 3.2?
2.3.
2.3.
Yeah.
I'm already at 3.2. At 2.3. So looking up to a lot of updates. And actually, if you go to Brizy Cloud, some of those are already present in Brizy Cloud. If you go to the text editor, you will see like the capitalized function is there already. So these are just the last little bit of wrinkles that are being ironed out. Thank you very much, everyone around the world. Stay safe.
Just one last thing before we go, just to give you a bit of insight of what we are working on right now. I'm not sure, GP, you are up to date with this, but we are putting together. I know we've promised this, and it's a long-awaited feature for Brizy Cloud. We are putting together right now the Brizy Cloud white label. So basically, this will be everyone will be able to resell Brizy Cloud under their own branding, under their own pricings, and we'll take care of everything with the builder, the hosting, the design, the payments, everything white labeled, and you'll be able to own basically your cloud, white label cloud platform, and to resell Brizy Cloud. This is coming just around the corner. I hope we'll have really great news for you guys in a very short while. Thanks a lot. Have a great night, and we'll see you in the next time.
Cheers.